I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement.
Hi everyone, Z here, the visual coach. Today I will be reproducing this poster about how to give feedback. The very first thing we need to do is draw that tagline, and I have an icon here, sort of like a little Pac-Man with an arrow pointing into its mouth, just like it's getting feedback, literally. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is using this brush marker just to vary up the font a little bit. Thin lines up, thick lines down, thick down, thin up. Thick down, thin up, thick down, thin up. So, situation S, behavior B, I for impact, and D for desired action. One way in which you could use this framework is using this template. I noticed that. What is it you noticed? When you did something, I noticed that when you were late for the meeting, the impact on the meeting, the object or the people or the team, the impact on blank was that we couldn't start the meeting because you were a key stakeholder to the meeting. I would have maybe sent some apologies if you couldn't make the meeting. I could have blank. Just linking this structure to the S-bit framework. Just going to draw a little tag here. Situation, I noticed when you were late for the meeting. The behavior, situation and behavior. The impact on the meeting, impact. That same construct there. And lastly, the desired action. Just add some shadows to make that pop a little bit more. Some highlights on here, the blanks. We could put some shadows in these tags. The other really useful thing to do when you are giving someone feedback is to ask for permission to give that feedback. For example, may I give you some feedback? And if they say no, then they're probably not in the right headspace and you probably don't want to be giving them feedback at that point in time. You could also use invitational phrases like, I invite you to consider. I invite you to consider this alternate point of view. Frame it up as an experiment. Can we give it a try? And here's some commitment to coming back to it and reflect on it or review it in a specific time frame, 3 weeks, whatever that might be. Right, just drawing a little icon of someone asking a question, simply asking a question. Let's just finish that off by putting it in a speech bubble. Drawing some shadows in there really quickly, finishing it off with your shadows, a shadow on that person there. And then finally adding in some pops of color. I'm choosing blue because that's the blue on my client's created in 8 minutes. We're going to be taking this to the print shop to laminate. And the posters are back from warehouse stationery, freshly laminated. Feedback tips.